This is Bomb Hoops Podcast.
Okay, with our next topic would be with the contracts in the NBA. Ikaw, Tol, anong thoughts mo with the contracts in the NBA today? Yung mga contract lengths, amount of money that they give to the players, and yun nga, yung how it is made right now with the setup ng mga contracts.
Sa setup kasi of the contracts nowadays, players are more tempted to go for a shorter contract, unlike before na players like Bernard King, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson na halos lifetime or mga 10-year contracts, 'di ba? So, my thoughts about the contract lengths in general is mas nagiging trending ngayon yung mga players signing shorter contracts, 1-year deal or 1+1 deals, na may player option sila sa final year nila. Unlike dati when players like Bernard King, Magic Johnson, and other superstar players na 10-year contracts and perhaps a lifetime contract pa nga. So dati hindi uso yung a player moves from team to team. Unlike now, we have superstars like LeBron James na palipat-lipat na siya ng team, and players are following suit. Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and perhaps yung kakadiscuss lang natin na si James Harden might be going to the same path as those superstars.
Ayun nga, due to the short-term contracts na available with the players right now, for example, yung kinuha ni Kawhi Leonard na 3-year deal lang na 2-year plus player option, and even etong si LeBron na nag-take ng 2-year contract extension. Medyo nababawasan na yung player loyalty. Bihira na yung players na ride and die sa team nila. I think yung mga players na ganito na lang are Damian Lillard and Giannis Antetokounmpo.
So, yung kay Giannis, Supermax yun. So, we're not sure if the Bucks offered a smaller amount of money, babalik siya.
Pero with Damian Lillard, I think he's true to the soil talaga sa Portland.
And back then, the only way for a star player to move to another team is via trade.
Pero ngayon kasi nama-maximize na yung free agency eh. Talagang yung mga player movement every other year merong big player movements eh.
Parang if I can remember sa early to mid 2000s and even in the early 2010s, hindi naman masyado ganun ka big deal ang free agency because every single player is expected to resign sa team na kumuha sa kanila. Unlike ngayon, yung drama sa free agency, halos kasing intense na ng playoffs eh.
Sobrang entertaining na nga nung drama ng free agency. Minsan, mas entertaining pa yung free agency than the actual season eh.
Yung, di ko makakalimutan yung nung 2019 free agency, yung kay Kawhi Leonard nga, grabe yun.
Mas intense pa yun kaysa sa season, sa totoo lang. Parang mas wala akong tulog nun.
Ayun. So, going back to the topic, I think it would be nice if we see more loyalty from the players in the league. Kasi yung mga older fans, yun yung hinahanap nila sa mga players eh. Na players resigning and being true to their word na binabalik nila yung utang na loob nila dun sa team na kumuha sa kanila by doing their best to compete for a championship.
And I think isang conflict dito is the amount of money na kaya nila makuha sa team nila. A lot of players are demanding supermax deals, and yun nga, staying with your team gives you the opportunity to get the supermax deal. Pero with another concern would be yung success mo as a player in the NBA. For example, let's give Paul George. Na he could have stayed in Indiana for his career. He could have stayed there for a long time and get that supermax. Pero yun nga, yung situation niya in Indiana was not great. Given nga yung interview niya last time in all the smoke with Stephen Jackson and Matt Barnes, sinabi niya na Indiana was not as invested or as driven to be a championship team. Na hindi nga nila tinanggap yung trade for AD na nire-request ni Paul George. So, ayun. Pwedeng yun yung mga nagiging driving factors why a player wouldn't want a supermax deal even though they have that opportunity.
Ang nagpauso na ito for me is the Celtics Big 3 nung 2007 to 2008 season. And I think the first super team to be made in the NBA. Kasi before nung time na yun, wala masyadong may pakialam sa free agency. Pero nung napunta si Ray Allen and Kevin Garnett sa Boston Celtics, parang nag-iba
Parang nagkaroon na parang pwede pala nating gawin to. And ayun na nga, ginaya na nga siya ng ni LeBron and ni Chris Bosh sa pagsama nila kay Dwayne Wade sa Miami Heat. And ginawa rin ng ibang teams like although ayun nga yung botch team ng Lakers ng 2012-2013, yung New York Knicks ng 2016-17 and yung pinakamasagawa sa lahat which is the 2013-2014 Nets na yun nga kasama rin si Paul Pierce tsaka si Kevin Garnett.
Dati kasi the only way for a player to be shipped to move to another team is via trade. Ngayon mas madalas na ako nakakita ng player na lumilipat ng team dahil sa pag-sign niya kaysa pag natitrade siya.
Ayun, and that actually, even though lumalakas yung mga teams, parang nagiging boring na for other teams. Like, for example, yung Indiana Pacers, they were lucky na pag alis si Paul George, they still got Victor Oladipo. Pero for some teams, katulad ng Cleveland Cavaliers, pag alis na LeBron James, they were trash. They were basically trash until LeBron came back. Even though they had Kyrie Irving, they were not making the playoffs or making any progress with their team.
And with that, I think the weight of delivering or perhaps winning a championship mas mabigat na sa front office kaysa sa players themselves
Parang the front office is expected to provide the best players available for their team and their star players. Pero parang hindi the same is counted on sa mga star players nila. Parang takot silang mag-ask ng ganong commitment sa players nila kasi yun nga, short-term contracts, baka umalis to pagka nagdemand kami na mas malaking commitment sa kanila.
And speaking of demanding, nowadays sobrang daming mga players yung nagde-demand ng supermax and there are question marks kung deserve ba nila yun. Pinaka-recent na lang is si Rudy Gobert of the Utah Jazz. Judging from the output of Rudy Gobert, he is an all-star caliber player, yes. Pero he is not an MVP caliber type of player. And yet he is demanding a supermax from his team.
Ayun nga. And good thing enough, etong kinuha niyang contract is actually less than the supermax, which is deservingly so. Kasi yun lang yung nararapat sa kanya.
We're not saying naman na Rudy Gobert is a bad player.
Pero the contract needs to be level to the amount of output na kaya niya ibigay. If anyone deserves an supermax sa team nila, it's Donovan Mitchell and not him.
So, parang for me dapat there are certain conditions met before you can ask for a supermax. Perhaps you should be an all-star at least 2 times.
Or
yung mga ganun.
all NBA team. All NBA first or second team.
Kasi kung kasi magde-demand ka ng supermax or a big contract pero you've not proven anything, hindi parang you don't deserve it. So don't be entitled.
And yun, sana maintindihan din ng players na if you want to win, you have to give way then for your team to have enough money to spend to get players that could help you win.
Yeah. Pinaka-example niyan is LeBron James, his whole career na willing kumuha ng pay cuts para lang makapag-sign ng mga players. So, yeah.
Ayun nga, nag-work naman para sa kanya for championships in his 18-year career. And more, hopefully.
And weighing yung contract ni LeBron, I think his fortune also comes from his endorsements eh.
So he doesn't need that. And yun nga, I think that should be something that this superstar player should look at, na hindi naman pala namin kailangan ng supermax to gain this amount of money and popularity.
Yeah, mas okay na na perhaps it comes from endorsements, lifetime contracts na parang yung binigay kay Steph Curry ng Under Armour. And shout out nga pala kay Steph Curry for launching his own Curry brand under Under Armour. Yeah.
And it looks like LeBron is gonna do his own as well with the Team LeBron. Na supposedly nga si Luka yung kukuhanin niyang first athlete sa team niya. And also, D-Rose getting that lifetime contract with Adidas, even though he's not the D-Rose of old. I mean, it pays to be a star player under contract ng lifetime katulad nung nakuha niya sa Adidas.
And he can afford to get smaller contracts from any team kasi may fallback option siya na he'll get money from endorsements. Okay.
So, moving forward, ano yung iniisip mong changes with the contracts? Barring any lockout, no? Syempre, ayaw naman natin magkaroon ng lockout.
Though, syempre, pag may lockout, may chance na makalaro ng gilas yung mga superstar eh. So,
Makakano tayo na live.
yeah, baka maulit yun. Pero, as an NBA fan, wag naman sana. Kasi, pag nagkaka-lockout, walang kasiguraduhan kung kailan babalik yung NBA. So, I think, perhaps changes is yung contract length. Dapat tanggalan nila yung limit and perhaps i-return nila yung mga lifetime contracts. Kasi parang with lifetime contracts, makikita mo kung sino talaga yung loyal na player, ganun. And I think sufficient naman na yung mga trades for a player to move to another team. Okay na yun eh. Kasi at least it will be a win-win situation for a team kasi they'll get something in return. Rather than you not signing back sa team na yun, parang parang iniwan mo na walang nang walang kapalit, 'di ba? Parang
unfair.
Kumbaga parang iniwan ka sa ere. Ganun na feeling. Medyo sanay tayong nararanasan.
Pag ganun.
Anyway, I would like the NBA to explore having longer contracts and perhaps longer supermax contracts para din maging flexible yung financial stability nila. Especially ngayon na ratings are down because of the pandemic.
Ako, preferably, I think the contract should be extended to just 7 years. Maybe not lifetime contracts, just 7 years. At kasi sa tingin ko, in 7 years, that gives you enough time to be a contender with your star player. And if it doesn't work in 3 years, you can rebuild in 1 year, then contend again for 3 years. And if it still doesn't work, then that's the time to move on. Kasi with 5 years, yung mga players after 3 years, pag di pa rin sila nagcha-champion, usually they demand a trade na eh. And kawawa yung team kasi on the 4th year, tapos may player option, yung makakukuha team sa kanila might just lose every asset they get, and the team that trades them might actually not get enough pieces that replaces them.
Another is yung, in my opinion, yung sa rookie contracts na dapat mas kasi medyo pag rookie ka, medyo maliit yung kontrata mo. Dapat medyo ang lakihan ng NBA, parang let the rookies have leeway to have a bigger contract in the NBA para din to protect their careers as well.
Lalo na yung mga nasa lower first round, second round, at least yung pinaghirapan nila, they get paid enough, and if they get drafted, even if they don't sign the team, they should be paid kasi na-draft sila eh. Kasi if I'm not mistaken, if you get drafted in the second round and you don't get signed, wala kang matatanggap na pera even though you got drafted.
Ayun nga, one example is si Terrence Davis of the Toronto Raptors. nung ina-expect niya na madadraft siya ng first round. However, when he wasn't drafted first round, he told all the teams na don't draft me. And he was persistent, and he believed in himself na he will show up sa Summer League, and ayun nga, nakita siya ng Toronto Raptors, and he was given a guaranteed contract with the team.
Ngayon, kailangan magkaroon ng ganong opportunities yung mga players sa second round eh. Kasi sayang naman yung effort nila to be drafted even though in the second round, tapos wala naman sila matatanggap na pera. I think the only exception would be players na draft and stash sa EuroLeague or in other leagues. Kasi hindi naman sila naglalaro eh.
Yeah. So, moving on, what are your thoughts on the player option for the contracts, especially sa mga 1+1 contracts?
I think player options are okay and team options are okay because this saves teams and players from unlikely moments in their careers. For example, yung kay Nicolas Batum na 5-year contract niya na derail yung buong organization ng Hornets for at least the good 4 years. Kasi nga, ang laki ng contract ni Batum pero hindi siya nagbibigay ng ganong amount of money. What if they had a team option earlier in his contract? Di naka-escape sila agad doon sa issue nila with Batum without using the amnesty clause.
Yeah, and hindi na kami lalayo in our beloved Lakers. Recently, si Luol Deng na hanggang ngayon may kontrata pa sa Lakers.
Ayun, babayaran pa siya ng Lakers hanggang next year ng $5 million.
Yeah. So, ayun nga, for me kung may kontrata ka in a team, dapat naglalaro ka. Hindi pwede yung magre-retire ka in the middle of the of your contract. Parang for me it should either be a fine or hindi na mabibigay yung yung the rest ng kontrata mo kasi hindi mo ginagawa yung part mo eh.
Or yun nga, kung winave ka naman, you should actually be waived including yung pera na sa'yo. You should have an agreement with the team na hindi na maapektuhan yung salary cap nila because you were waived for a reason eh. Na maybe reasons na you can't play anymore or hindi mo na kayang ibigay output expected of the money given to you.
Ako in my opinion so this side of mine is kinda controversial pero ayoko sa player option eh. And I would prefer it if i-abolish ng league yung player option and just give out contracts. Pero if ganun yung case, i-abolish din nila yung team option. Dapat patas lang. Na instead of having mga +1, mga player options, they should just give out 4-year contract, 3-year contract, 5-year contract. Be specific. Kasi there are times sa pag binibigyan mo ng player options yung isang player, minsan naaabuso and minsan napapag-iwanan yung team. And for ako, I'm a fan of competitive basketball talaga. I don't want any bottom dweller teams. And as much as possible, I want every team to be competitive, to be fighting for a spot in the playoffs. Ayoko nakakita ng mga nagtatank na teams. And I think pag tinanggal mo yung player options, mas magiging possible yun because the players are bound to you whether they like it or not. So wala silang choice kundi maglaro.
Yep. Ayun nga. And that's what happening with Harden right now. Na wala siyang choice kundi maglaro kasi may commitment na siya. Although yun nga, may off-court issues pero naglalaro siya. And yun nga, if players are given guaranteed contracts all the way, the same thing would be expected from them.
So, ayan, moving forward, do you think there are possible actions or changes that should be made by the NBA regarding the contracts?
I think, yun nga, yung sa length, maybe yun nga, guarantee contracts agad, extend contracts, yung maximum contract length, and maybe, avoid natin yung mga merong special conditions sa contracts na pag naging all-star si ganito, he gets more money. If he wins Defensive Player of the Year, he gets more money. Even though these are incentives that help players develop themselves, pay them rightfully so. Kasi I think this is unfair to other players na kunwari, nanalo ako ng Defensive Player of the Year. Bakit siya meron siyang incentive to be a Defensive Player of the Year? Pero ako yung nanalo, pero wala ako natanggap na extra money for that.
For me, dapat if you win an award or perhaps you get to be an all-NBA player, dapat may financial compensation na agad yun. Hindi na kailangan ng special condition sa contract mo. Kasi parang it just shows na you are doing your best for your team. Therefore, you should be rewarded. Hindi yung bibigyan ka ng goal tapos kailangan mo ma-attain yun before you get your bonus. Dapat you should be rewarded for what you're doing. And kung hindi mo siya na-achieve, okay lang, at least you still have the contract.
Yeah. So moving forward, I think those are the changes that they should do. And for sure naman may changes na mangyayari. Maybe not the things that we said, maybe something else. Pero the world of the NBA is constantly evolving. The contracts are consistently evolving. Yeah, everything will change. Maybe 10 years from now, ibang-iba na talaga.
And also pala, I want to abolish yung mga small market and big market teams and the luxury tax. Kasi sobrang unfair. How could a small market team like let's say the Milwaukee Bucks have the same legacy as a team like the LA Lakers? 'Di ba?
Kung di nila afford, 'di ba?
Parang sa Lakers, ang daling maghanap ng free agents because you're a big market team, sobrang ganda ng city. So, mas okay sana kung lahat, pantay-pantay lang yung luxury tax and lahat, pantay-pantay lang yung salary cap, etc. Mas okay kung ganun. At least everything's fair.
I think so too. Ayun nga. And I think the TV deals, the online viewing deals are helping in those aspects. And yun nga, endorsements are also helping as well. And so hopefully, moving forward, these things will help the NBA level out yung markets for each team.
Alright, I think we've covered everything about the contracts in the NBA. Kayo guys, kung may mga opinions kayo or any insights or reactions, feel free to comment down below para ma-discuss namin in the future.
Yan, tulungan niyo kami magkaroon ng ng topics.
Alright.
And yan, shoutout pa namin kayo.
Yeah. So again, don't forget to like, comment, and share this video. Tapos mag-subscribe na rin kayo. So para updated kayo sa mga videos namin.
Yan, let's move on to our final topic.